Hello, hello, hello. It is Coach T of Royalty Fitness. So I am here. I apologize for last week when I had to cancel the live. Just had a lot of things going on at one time. So I am here, rescheduled to talk about the same topic I was going to talk about last week. So it's nothing different, nothing new. Well, it is different, but the topic I was going to talk about last week is the topic I'm going to talk about today. So, hey, Charlotte, I'm trying to see if I should bring up my Facebook account because I can't see um, everything that's coming on my tablet. I can't see, so I'm going to bring it up on my Facebook, and that way I can definitely see. Hey, Dr. G. Hey, Bev. So, ladies, we do have some new ladies. So let me introduce myself because everybody doesn't really know me. They haven't been in the group as long as you other ladies have. I'm Trennis Mosley, also known as Coach T of Royalty Fitness, and I work with women over 40 who are trying to work on their chronic illnesses and or lose weight with simple lifestyle changes. So that's what I do. That's who I am. I am certified in personal training, online training, uh, TRX, indoor cycling, fitness nutrition. Hey, Sarah, group personal training specialist, and I'm sure there are other things, but I'm a certified fitness professional, so I hold like 7 different certifications. All right, so that's who I am. That's what I do. So today we're here to talk about habits. I did a post, and I'm looking at my computer right now so that I can see it. I did a post a couple of weeks ago, and it was like I had a lot of feedback from it, a lot of feedback. I mean, I knew it was gonna like hit home. Hey, Sarah, but I didn't know it was going to go the way that it did. And it's real and it's true, and a lot of it affected me myself. So it was easy to come up with that. It was one of the carousels where it has the different little sheets and different things are on them. So I'm gonna just give you an overview. I'm gonna just go through the ones that really had a lot of conversation involved with them. So, a lot of times, when you hire a trainer, you hire a coach, and it's always about nutrition. Hey, Angela, about eating right and about exercise. Everybody knows that, but, taking my recertification because it expires at the beginning of the year. So now I have to take this continuing education course. Is that fitness is definitely taking a whole nother turn. So what we're finding out as fitness professionals is what is it that clients fail. They, even us as coaches, what makes us fail at our journey of weight loss. Is it that we don't have self control? Is it that we don't want it bad enough? Is it that we're not accountable? What is it? It's not just cut and dry. It's not just you keep eating the wrong foods and you're not working out enough. It's not that simple. So, science and medicine, like everything else, changes. And so, we're finding out a lot more things. Not saying I'm into science and medicine, but a part of the certification that I am with the National Academy of Sports Medicine, they definitely delve into that realm. So, we don't just learn how to just bring somebody in the gym and tell them to do 10 reps. So, what we're finding out, hey, Terry, is that a lot of stuff that, affect our clients, it affects us, and it's a lot of reasons as to why we can't continue with our goals. Like we might have a goal, but we fall off, And like I was telling one of my clients earlier, it's not so much that you won't fall off if you hire a coach or a trainer. But the coach or the trainer is there to help you to get back up quicker than you would on your own. The coach or the trainer is there to be that little person on your shoulder or in your ear that's constantly, being your hype person, that's constantly being your person to hold you accountable, that's constantly being the person there to tell you that you can do this and that, okay, well, we're going to change the game. If this doesn't work, we're going to do this. If this doesn't work, we'll do that. So that's why you're hiring a coach or a trainer. They're your person, they're your hype person, they're your person that's there to help you to get back up when you fall. They're your person. Hey, Marilyn, they're your person to help you to switch it up if something isn't working. Because, what you might not know and what coaches and trainers know is that, the body adapts. The body adapts quickly. So once the body has adapted to something, be it exercise or nutrition, then it's time for the coach or the trainer to write a new program to change it up with the nutrition. So you have to always change it because the body is outsmarting us the entire time. But I'm getting off track of what I was supposed to be talking about. So we're finding out way more things that are involved. And I know you guys saw the post that I did about a new program that I have coming out, the health project, the Better Health Project. So this is part of that project, the post that I put out. So some of the things that affect us when we can't stay on course and you can't stay the course or can't reach your goal is, and some things you have to change, it's mental. A lot of what we do is mental and we don't realize, and not just mental, but a lot of it is habit. Stuff that we've done for so long that we don't even realize that it does affect our goals. So, the emotional eating, if you've always done that all your life, you get stressed out, you always grabbing something to eat. That is one thing right there that affects and that kind of blows your whole plan out the water. If you're an emotional eater, if you have always, and this could be something that stems back from childhood, if you've always gotten stressed out and you've always grabbed food or something to drink to help you to cope with the stress, then that is habit. That's something that you've always done. And so that's something that only you would know. So the ladies that did my assessment, they're going through this and they're realizing like, wow, it's like, I really didn't think it was that deep, but it's that deep. It's not just emotional eating, but it's also emotional spending. And when I'm saying emotional, it's not just from sadness. It could be from anxiety. It can be from boredom. It can be from just coping with everyday life, just with lifing. So that's something that you might want to think about. Think about something that you've always done. Now it's second nature because you've done it so long till you don't even think about it. So emotional eating is one of those things that can definitely blow your plan out of the water. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a lot of eating, but it just could be constantly, you're constantly just, your nerves, and you're just constantly having the need to have something to chew or something to eat. Okay. So another one is portion sizes. I was talking to another client and she says that she doesn't overeat, but get this, she eats everything on her plate. Now that is definitely a trigger from childhood that could possibly be. So what I told her is that when she's out in restaurants and when she's at home, if you're used to serving yourself a big amount of food on your plate, what I wanted her to do is just like cut it in half and just eat half of it right now and come back and eat the rest of it later. Or if it's early enough in the day, save that for your dinner if that was your lunch. But that's a habit that a lot of us learned from childhood when our parents said you can't get up from the table until you finish all your food. That's a trigger. So you've learned over the years that when you have food and you're not realizing is that you're going to eat all of that food. Although you're not hungry, you're going to eat all of that food because that's the way that you were brought up. That is something that you were trained to do as a young child, and now that has gone into adulthood, and that has you overeating when there's no need to. So that was another one. So large portion sizes, serving up large portion sizes and making yourself eat the entire thing. That could definitely blow your goal out of the water. Got it? Another one is social pressure. And see me, I don't care. It's like I don't drink, I don't eat certain things, and when I go somewhere, I don't care what nobody says because I've heard it all. Oh, you a party pooper. I don't care. Y'all say what y'all want to say. At this age, I am comfortable enough in my own skin to stand my ground, and I'm not going to be sucked into the social pressures of trying to drink or eat something that I don't eat, or drink, and I know I don't drink because I feel obligated because I want to feel more social. Don't do nothing for me at this age, babe. I'm not here to please you. No, that don't work. So that is another thing that I noticed, that with some younger clients that are more closer to their 40, they're still, going out doing girls' night. They're still doing happy hour. So, stuff like that will definitely derail whatever goals that you got if you're always out, drinking and eating, because then you're not really paying attention to what you're eating. You're probably eating whatever is available at the restaurant. You're drinking in between that. And, those drinks have a lot of extra calories. So be aware of social pressure. I know if I'm going somewhere, hey, Barbara, and if I'm going to a wedding or if I'm going to something and I'm not sure about how the food is going to be, I usually eat before I leave home. That's just where I'm most comfortable at right now at that stage in my life, because I know I don't eat a lot of things, and a lot of party foods I don't eat. So I basically eat at home, so I don't worry about the social pressures of, what everybody else is doing. That's not one thing that's going to blow me off my goal, but that does with a lot of other people. So be aware of that. Social pressures can definitely take you out also. Environmental triggers, that was another one. So, and this kind of goes with the one before that. The presence of tempting high calorie foods, snacks, and drinks that leads to overeating. You're at a picnic. Y'all just won't believe what I did like last Saturday. This is a great example of environmental triggers. I went to a picnic last Saturday, and the day that I was invited to the picnic, that was my day that I was scheduled to have my first cleansing fast. And I was like, oh my God, really? This is the day that I have to do that? Because I'll eat like some stuff. I don't eat like everything that they might have. But I was like, you know what? This is my fast day. This is the day that I said I was going to start. So I have to do it today. Although I'm going to the picnic, I'm going to still do it. I'm going to see how strong my conviction is to what I'm trying to do. And definitely, I get to the picnic and they got it all. A lot of the stuff I didn't eat, but when it got to the seafood, sister was like, I was like, oh my God. I was just like drinking that water, drinking that water, drinking that water. I was like, oh my God. But I bought my snack with me and I ate it in the car on my way to the park, so I wouldn't have to eat it there, because people always like look at you like side, like, you really, you gonna do that? And we at the picnic, with all of this good food around and stuff like that. But I'm on a mission. I have a goal, so I can't let y'all deter me for one day. Even if you have to take it and bring it home and eat it the next day or eat it later or whatever like that. But I stayed strong. I stayed the course. I didn't get sucked into the whole picnic thing. Although those crabs was calling my name, it's like, but crabs are not going anywhere. I could get boiled crabs at any time, but it's like, no, we have to stay on course. So be careful of those environmental triggers, because they'll definitely do you in when you go into events or you're on vacation and things like that. Not saying that you can't. It just depends on where you are in your journey. You might be where, because the program, the video that I have that's out, the program does state that, that we have a 20-60-20 rule, and everything is not 100%. So you don't have to stick to the diet like glue. You are allowed to live life, and you are allowed to eat things and enjoy yourself. I'm just saying that these things just had so much feedback with them that I want you to be aware of what they are, so that, you're only can control something if you are aware that it exists, right? Right. Another one is lack of mindful eating. When you're watching TV, don't eat. when you're watching TV? Well, you can eat because most likely your dinner is just on that plate, but don't snack is what I should say while you're watching television. That now, if you can do this, if you can take the amount of your snack, if it's 100-calorie bag of popcorn and that's all that you have, that's all that you have. Don't go back and forth and get something else, because that mindless snacking and that mindless eating while you're watching TV, it'll do you in, man. You'll get to 500 or 600 or 700 calories so quick. Especially if you had one thing and you change to another thing, and then if you have something to drink with it, so those calories are like adding up. So just be aware that mindful eating, and that's something that could be a trained thing that you do. That could be something that I've always done. That, Coach T, I always watch TV and eat at the same time. I always have to have something to eat while I'm watching a movie. You got to rethink. You got to rethink. You got to retrain your mind, and you got to retrain. That's habit. That's habit. That's habit. I bet you if you sat there and you watched a movie, and if you just had you something to drink, or you had your water on ice with lemon in it or something like that, because you need something to do with your hands and you just can't look at the television, try something like that. But a lot of these are habits. You can see where I'm going with this, right? So my lack of mindful eating was one. Habitual eating, that one not so much, but that's basically what I could use for an example for that one. Is that that old adage, remember when we were young, is that you had to have 3 meals a day. You were raised up like you had to have breakfast, you had to have lunch, and you have to have dinner. Well, that's not a must. That's not written down anywhere. You're not going to go to jail if you don't have 3 square meals a day. It won't be the end of the world. You can have 2 meals a day and 2 snacks, but you don't have to have 3 meals a day. And if you do have 3 a day, it doesn't have to be 3 full course meals. That's another thing that we've been taught, that we've been trained, another habit that we have, that we grew up on, thinking that we have to have grits with egg and bacon and biscuits, like this whole smorgasbord for one plate. So that's another example of habitual eating, things that we learned and that we've carried over into adulthood that are not serving us well in adulthood. All right, another one is dieting restrictions. A lot of people still want to go on diets. They want to try every fad diet that come out. I don't even know what's the latest diet that they've had out, because I never followed diets. I've just heard them, on television, or saw somebody talking about them on social media. But you have to let go of those diets. Those diets don't serve you. They never have. That's why they always have 10,000 of them. That's why they always come and go, because they're not meant for long-term health. They're not meant for long-term usage. They are meant for short-term, and that's it. And then what happens after short term? You go back to your regular eating, then you go back to putting the weight on, then you're waiting for the next diet to come out. I mean, I've heard it all. I've heard, Atkins diet and this and that. We've been hearing this for years and years and years. And like I said, the only reason that you keep hearing about so many of them is because they don't last. So definitely be aware of those diet restrictions, or going on those don't be a perpetual dieter, is what I'm trying to say, okay? Now, this, we have no control over this. Everybody's going to go through it at one point in your life or another, no matter what age you are. Hormonal factors. And, when your hormones are out of whack, that can trigger bouts of hunger. The hormonal balances lead to sleep deprivation, which leads to overeating. So it becomes like a circle, like one thing leads to another, and it's like a whole domino effect, making a circle. Because when you're hungry, you have a tendency to eat more. When you have hormones raging all over the place, and night sweats, or you're extremely cold, and just a lot of stuff just going on with the body, that one All I can say is we just got to push through, and we got to find out what best works for us, because everybody's body is different. All ladies on this phone, whether you're peri, post, pre menopausal, you're going to be going through your own bout that's different from your sister, that's different from your mother. Probably even if you have a twin sister, it's going to be different from your twin sister. Everybody's body is reacting differently and going through it differently, and we just have to find out what's the best way to help. And sometimes it's medication. Sometimes you might need hormone replacement therapy. Some people believe in it, some people don't. And you just have to realize where you are on that spectrum and what type of diet best can work for you. If you're on hormone replacement therapy, a lot of doctors say stay away from soy. Some doctors say stay away from, you don't have to stay away from soy. So it's just a lot. It's a lot going on with that. But until you actually get a handle on it or realize what it is that your body's doing, then you can get a handle on it. That's the way I wanted to say that. So those hormonal factors are a lot. Cravings. So when your hormones are all over the place, cravings come in. But foods that are high in sugar and fats, they cause intense craving. You have specific foods that you really want to eat. It's hard to resist. That results in the overeating and the overindulgence. So most likely when you have cravings, a lot of cravings going on, your body is lacking some type of mineral. Your body is lacking some type of vitamin deficiency. I've heard doctors say, when you have strong cravings, but until a body has a little sign on it and say, warning, 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 I need magnesium, or warning, 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 I need vitamin D. How do we know? Right? How do we know? We don't know. So, my whole thing is that with cravings, the more you feed the beast, the more you'll have to feed the beast. That's the thing about it. So the way that you want to do is that you can't totally deprive yourself of everything. But if you can do things like I have one lady that she saves her treats and desserts for the weekend. Like she knows she's strong enough to go those 5 days where she doesn't have to have a cookie or a chip or crackers or pretzels or any of that. But come Saturday, that'll be her treat day where she can just have her little treat, her little ice cream or her little cake or whatever that is, and she treats herself. So that way she's not going into any really deep cravings for these things that the body is craving for one reason or another. Or she just wants it. She's going to a wedding. She loves wedding cake. She's going to be at the wedding and she wants to have a piece of cake. So she's going to save that, for Saturday and say it's not worth it to eat like that every day, but I'm going to save it for my special occasion. It's a special occasion she's going to. She's going to have a special treat. Even if you're not going to a special occasion, still make that your special treat. You don't have to cut out everything, but that's the whole thing, ladies. You can't eat the way we used to eat and think that we're going to look the way we're used to look, because our body is different from the way it used to be. Got it? It's just that simple, right? I know it's not, but hey, I have to make fun of it. And so the last one that was on here was the lack of nutrient dense food. So a diet that's lacking in nutrient dense food, try to say that fast. So that's food that has vitamins and minerals and things that your body needs. If you can load your body up on those, that helps you to meet your body's nutritional needs, and that helps to avert all of the overeating of the bad foods. You ever notice when you eat bad foods, you want to eat more bad foods because it's not filling? I mean, it might be filling your belly as far as in the girth that is giving you, but it's not feeding you nutritiously. It's not giving you any vitamins. It's not giving you any minerals. So you're still lacking in those. So when your body is short on those, it's always looking for it in the next food and the next drink until you fulfill that. You're always going to be hungry. You're always going to be overeating. You're always going to be overeating the wrong food. So go for the nutrient dense food. Eat healthy. Think of it as you want to eat for health now. At our age, it's not about Like I see a lot of people that just, they could do fast food every day. And I probably did that when I was young. Probably not a lot, but they could eat fast food every day. That's not sustainable and that's not healthy as we get older. Find more nutrient dense food, and then that will help curtail the lacking, or not the lacking, that will help curtail the craving of the foods that are not so good for you, because you're full, because protein. I said every Tuesday this month I was going to talk about protein, give you post on protein. So I did a post on Tuesday about how protein is good for things in your body. Coming up this Tuesday, I'm going to put a little formula on there so you can know how much protein you should be digesting, because that's always a big thing. It's like, okay, coach, everybody says that I should eat protein, but how much protein do I need? So I'm going to put a little and it's basic math. It's not like that hard math like my grandson. It ain't that hard math. It's not calculus. It's that new math they got, babies. That math be mathing. When you could just do 2 plus 2, but they got to take it all the way around the corner instead of just crossing the street. So it's a very simple formula to determine how much protein you should be eating. And it's based on how much you would like to weigh, not how much you weigh now. So that's the caveat. It's not how much you weigh now. We're going to use your goal weight. So say that you're 140 pounds, say you're 160 pounds and you want to weigh 140 pounds. So the protein intake is going to be based on 140 pounds and not 160 pounds. So it's going to be like, so you remember that. So when I put it out there Tuesday, and I'll definitely put that in the post. So all this month, every Tuesday in October, I'm going to be talking about protein, something about protein. So now I'm going to talk about how much protein you need on a daily basis. Getting back to what I was saying, so protein is one of those nutrient dense foods. If you eat protein, not only does it benefit your body, but it also helps you to stay full longer. And that way you're not as hungry when you have to wait for the next 2.5 to 3 hours to have your next meal, because you're full from the protein and you don't have all of those empty carbohydrates floating around in your system. And like 30 minutes after you ate, now you're looking for something else to eat. So that's why we want to have protein as much as we can. And, if you have any medical issues going on that you cannot have all of that protein, then that's not for you. So you also need to pay attention to that. So everything that I say or everything that I put out there is not for everybody, because some people have medical issues that interfere with them doing a lot of things that are suggested. And they're just suggestions, ladies. They're just suggestions, just things that I've learned that I want to pass on to you that you can use in your everyday life. Because like I said, it's more than just about eating and exercise. It's a lot more. A lot of it is habits. You have to go back and you have to change those habits. You have to have accountability, and you have to grow up. And I mean that because I have people to tell me, well, I've done that all my life. Like they get a little offended if I say, well, you need to stop doing, well, I've done, okay, if you've done that all your life, that's why you can't meet your goals, because you're not willing to change. You have to be willing to make a change, not just with your eating or not just with exercise. You have to be willing to make a change with your thought processes. That is a big part that I'm finding out, because I can't hold you accountable if you're not willing to change the way you look at life, the way you look at this whole health thing. I can't help that part if you're not willing to change. So, you're never going to get where you need to be unless you can think outside of the box, unless you can let go of certain foods, unless you can let go of certain habits. Adopt new habits. Who says that you have to continue the habits that you've always had? The habits that have you in the boat that you're in right now. Aren't you ready to get rid of those habits? Those habits that cause you to overeat or to have big plates or to drink, Cokes every morning, or to not drink water. Oh, I've never drank water. No, you can't do that, because now your body has changed on you. So your body requires you to do something different, is what I'm saying. because you want to continue on a health journey, and because you want to shed some pounds, and because you want to get off those medications, you have to be willing to do stuff that you've never done before. Even for people that, they'll fight me on this tooth and nail when I say have breakfast, start off the day. You've been going too long, and that's going to cause you to overeat for lunch. Oh, I don't eat breakfast. I've never eat breakfast. Okay, I know that. You've told me that before. But if you're not willing to do something different, we're at an impasse already. So don't hire a coach or a trainer and then you're going to rebuttal everything that they say. Just because you've done something for so long and it's second nature to you. I'm just saying. So that's all I have. I just wanted to go into detail about that because there was so much talk about that post. It's still in the Facebook group. You can go back and look at it. A lot of it affected me. A lot of it I had to look at my own self, because, since I've hit 60, y'all, my body is just not doing what it used to do. It's a struggle. And I have only been, it's going to be a year in February, coming up on a year, but it's like my body is just not responding the way it used to do. So I'm doing different things, so that's where I am. So I know if I'm having these struggles, I know you guys are having the same struggles. So you got to be willing to do things different than what you've done before. Even with me, even what I was doing 8 months ago, it ain't working. So what do? I got a coach. My coach checked in on me the other day. I have to have somebody in my ear, somebody to hold me accountable. I've done little things like, I've upped my water intake. I was slacking, for months I was slacking on water, but not no more. I'm not slacking no more. Okay, 3 liters, which is 16 ounces short of a gallon, is what I get in every day. And I make myself get up early in the morning and start the process. Certain things just have to be done. So that's what you have to do. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes. If this is going to make you healthy, if this is going to make you lose weight, if this is going to make you transform your health. That's the name of the new program. If this is going to make you transform your health, and it's doable, guys, it's doable, but it takes persistence, and you have to want it, and you have to keep at it. That's okay if you fall, because I know it's probably going to come a day. I've been rolling for 2 or 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now with my water intake, but it's going to come a day where I'm going to have to back up off the water because I got to fly for my job. I'm not going to be drinking all that water, trying to sit on a plane because they don't let you go to the bathroom all the time. So, there will be instances where I can't, but I'm good with that. But 80% of the time, 60% of the time, I'm rolling with it. So that's all I have for you ladies. Wanted to go into detail about that. See, y'all helped me with my continuing education credits on learning all of this new stuff. And I hope that you guys got something out of it. If anybody is interested in finding out about the new program that's coming out, I have a video that I don't know if I sent the email to everybody or only of people that requested it. It's like 12-minute video and goes into detail. And it actually shows you, it asks questions and you're rating yourself and you're doing, you're doing math where you're like writing down what you do and what you don't do. And it involves way more than are you eating healthy, are you drinking water, and are you exercising? It involves way more than that. So if you are definitely interested in listening to that 12-minute video where you hear my sweet tones in my voice going over it, definitely reach out to me and I'll send it to you. And even if you don't sign up for the program, it can definitely enlighten you to some things that you might have didn't know. Okay? All righty, ladies. And that is all that I have for you guys. And y'all have a great evening. And I will see y'all. And I'm back on. So I'll be back. I'm not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that, hopefully. I'll still be here in New Orleans. And I'll have another great topic to talk about and to give y'all my opinion about. All right. Y'all be good. All righty, ladies. Bye-bye.